Don't be mad. Don't be mad that an Israelite made it. The suckers gon' talk, the cowards gon' hate it. No matter what they say, I'ma go get it done. There's really no choice if you from where I'm from. Some people gon' be glad, others gon' be mad. You juicing off the hate and relapse, so you need rehab. I could show you things, all you see is the rings. Don't get blinded by ice, my brother, pick a lane. Learn a skill that'll get you very well paid. Investing in trades like a monopoly game. All you need is your brain, and be willing to change. You'll have obstacles in life, but don't look at it strange. Adapt to your environments, get well-rounded. In the laws of the Most High, stay well-grounded. Things happen and life goes on. Let the haters hate while you stay strong.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status.
Number one.
I gotta do good every time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it.
Don't be mad, bro.
You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
I'ma get it done.
Don't be mad.
Do what you need to do, there's the king in you. But if talent don't work, it won't be useful. I remember the times of free school lunch. Whatever we didn't eat, moms took it for our brunch. Pops was working hard, now I know how it feels to have extra. He used to bring us meals on wheels. If you know, you know. Free things was a major help. That's why anytime I get, I always try to help. Those who are in need, who know are sincere. It makes me feel good when they smiling from ear to ear. Let them be mad, I'm bearing my cross. All my failures was a lesson, never counted a loss. Edomites make way, 'cause they know I'm a boss. Sitting in the Lambo, while they sit in the porch. And they wondering how, so they try to converse. The ones that smile in your face are usually the worst.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status.
Number one.
I gotta do good every time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it.
Don't be mad, bro.
You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
I'ma get it done.
Don't be mad.
Hayahawa, Hafapalau, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever.
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Ya Yahweh, Ya Yahweh, Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh. Yasha Ayahawa,
Yasha Ayahawa,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Wayasham,
Wayasham,
Laka Shalom,
Laka Shalom,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shah,
Barak Rapah,
Barak Rapah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shah,
Barak Rapah,
Barak Rapah,
Yasha Allah,
Yasha Allah.
So what is going on? What is going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome to another edition of the Lines of Israel Saturday morning class. It's your brother Priest Daniela representing Lines of Israel. Along with the Elder Zahab, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, the supreme intellect of the universe, and I do so in the name of his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. I definitely want to say peace and blessings to everybody that is here on this Saturday morning. We do, as always, appreciate you guys coming out in the morning and coming to our classes and paying attention to what it is that the Most High has put on our spirit to teach the people. Again, as always, I say that I pray that the classes are a blessing to you, brothers and sisters, and they are definitely helpful to you in your walk. I want to shout out everybody that's watching us on our YouTube platforms, which is Maccabees TV, along with the Lines of Israel class. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not. Make sure you guys leave a comment in the comment section. All right. Make sure you guys also hit the notification bell so you guys can be notified every time we go live. And of course, I also want to shout out everybody that's watching us on, or I should say, listening to us on Clubhouse. The link at the top of the room will take you over to YouTube. I always give you guys a rating in terms of how important it is for you guys to actually watch the lesson as opposed to listening. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say today's class is a 10,000. If you guys are able to click the link, you should click the link and come over to YouTube and watch the presentation, because today's presentation is highly visual. So if you can click over, do so. If not, continue to listen on Clubhouse. That's fine. Just get out of it what you can get out of it. All right. I have a lot to get over. I have a lot to go over today. A lot to go over. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the floor over to Elder Zahab and let him make some opening remarks, and then we're going to get started with today's class.
Hey, Shalom, family. Shalom to the family. Shalom, everyone. All praise to the Most High. All right. We're here another Sabbath. We thank you. We thank the Most High first and foremost in the name of his only begotten Son. Like Priest said, man, you could be anywhere else, but you're here, ready to learn or whatever the Spirit put upon the brother to teach. So thank you for that. I do want to say something though. When you're interacting with us, right, leave a comment, especially on YouTube or whatever platform. Leave a comment, because I think that triggers the algorithm, right? I could be wrong, but I think that's what it does, right, Priest? So
Yes.
We get boosted up, so more people can see the videos, and more people start coming in. So I just wanted to say that. And also, we got other things we're going to talk about at the end of the class. A couple of announcements.
All praises.
All praise to the Most High. Let's go.
All praises. So, all right, brothers and sisters. So we're going to get started because I have a lot to talk about today. So we're going to get right on into it. Thank everybody again for being here that's in the chat. I'm not looking at the chat, but thank y'all, brothers and sisters, for being here. So let's get rid of a few things on the screen so your vision is not impaired. So we're going to get rid of the logo, and we're going to get rid of the banner. So that way you guys are able to see everything that it is we're able to see. I'm going to take myself and Elder Zahab off the screen. All right, so I think we are ready to go. All right. All right, brothers and sisters. So today's class, you guys saw the thumbnail on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook or
You guys saw the thumbnail on YouTube. Today's class is called Our People Sinning is Big Business. Big business. Our people sinning is a billion-dollar industry. Dare I say trillion-dollar industry? A lot of people get paid off us sinning. So I want to talk about that this week and really dive deep into it. Our sin is big money for people. And that's why people have a problem with us and us teaching our people to repent and turn from wickedness, because we actually are getting into people's pockets. We're stopping people's cash flow by teaching our people to keep the commandments. That's a big problem. That's why they have a problem with us. They don't have a problem with the churches. They don't have a problem with the pastors. They don't have a problem with Islam, not really. They don't have a problem with atheism. They don't have a problem with Buddhism or anything else. But this Israelite thing that teaches our people to keep the commandments, yeah, now you messing with our money. Because see, the churches incorporate a lot of wickedness in there, so you can continue. You could go to church and still be wicked. Hell, you could go to church and still be a stripper. Hell, you could go to church and still be a gangbanger. We see it in all the movies. You could go to church and be a member of the mafia, right? Don't the mafia people go to the priest in the Catholic Church and ask them and make confession at the confessional? You could be the devil the Bible speaks about and go to church. But you can't do it being an Israelite. That's why they have a problem with us. Let's start off with Proverbs 12, verse 26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. I want to identify this righteous. Who is the righteous? Let's go to Deuteronomy 6, verses 24 through 25. It says, and the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God for our good always. So the idea of fearing the Most High is that we always as a people will receive good and receive blessings, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. Verse number 25. And it shall be our righteousness. So now we're identifying who this righteous is. It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments. So we're not righteous if we don't keep the commandments. You have a lot of people in the world that feel like they're good people. I'm a good person in general. And maybe so. You do good deeds. You're nice to people, but you ain't keeping no commandments. You still celebrate Christmas. You still celebrate Easter. You still eat pork, shrimp, lobster, and crab, so forth and so on. So you're not really, according to the biblical definition, you're not righteous. The Bible says it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God as he have commanded us. So now we've identified what it means to be righteous and how righteousness is actually demonstrated. It's demonstrated by observing, doing the commandments. Coming back to Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Right. We as the Israelites, we were better than all the nations that surrounded us, the Egyptians, the 7 nations the Most High displaced so that we could have that land, the Canaanites. We were better than them. What made us better than them? The Most High gave us his commandments. And our observation of God's commandments is what made us better. But the way of the wicked seduceth them. So the Bible tells us in the book, I believe it's in the book of Joshua, that the Most High left a certain remnant of the Canaanites in the land. After Joshua displaced most of the Canaanites and gave out the inheritances, there was still a remnant of the Canaanites that was still left in the land, and they were left there to try us. Were we going to follow God, or would we follow the nations that were around us? And we all know the story. The ways of the wicked, these other nations, from the time that we got into the land all the way up to today, the ways of the other nations has always seduced our people. And that's the problem. Let's move on. Going over to Ezekiel chapter 20, verses 32 and 33. This has always been the problem with our people. Ezekiel 20, verse 32, it says, and that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, because the ways of the wicked have seduced us. We're looking at what the other nations are doing, like, that looks fun. Christmas looks fun. Easter looks fun. Valentine's Day looks fun. Why can't we do it? Huh? New Year's Eve, look at them. You're going to Times Square and dropping the ball. That looks fun. Why can't we do that? So our people said, what? We will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries to serve wood and stone. Because when you celebrate Christmas, getting down to it, you're celebrating a pagan god. When you celebrate New Year's on January 1st, that's Janus. You're, in essence, worshiping a pagan god, and the list goes on and on. This is Proverbs 3, verse 31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. We were never supposed to choose the ways of the other nations, because we were more excellent than them, because God gave us his commandments, which set us apart from them, because we were righteous and they were not. So Proverbs 3, verse 31 again, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward, now that's not a regular Negro word. Froward is not a regular Negro word. So if you look at the top of the screen on the PowerPoint, froward means willfully contrary. And our people are willfully contrary to God's laws. That's why Ezekiel 20, verse 32 says what? We said we want to be like the other nations. We are willfully contrary. We knew what we were supposed to do. But in our mind, we was like, nah, but that looks fun what they're doing. Right? What does froward also mean? Disobedience, or difficult to manage. So it says, envy thou not the oppressor. Proverbs 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward, meaning the willfully contrary, the disobedient, the difficult to manage, is an abomination to the Lord. But his secret is with the righteous. Who's the righteous? We just identified that. Those that do what? Observe the commandments. So the Most High's secret is with those that observes the commandments. And who's that today? That's us. That's why we can see the world as it is. We can recognize prophecy as it unfolds. We can recognize truth when we see it, but the majority of our people cannot, because they have a froward mind and they are an abomination to God, because they want to be like the other nations. Going back to Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33, as I live, saith the Lord, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. The Most High is going to rule over us one way or another. Right? Even if it means he has to drag us kicking and screaming, that's what's going to happen. Moving on. Let's go to the book of Judith, chapter 5. This is a scripture that we're all familiar with. We've read it many, many times. We're going to read it again. The nations understand the secret. What is the secret? To keep our people froward, meaning willfully contrary to God, disobedient, and difficult to manage. They understand how to get us to be in that state of mind. They understand they can set up certain things to tempt us where it comes into our mind, like in Ezekiel 20, that we want to be like them. That looks great over there. I want to be like that. And when they seduce us to want to be like them, guess what? The Most High is not with us. This is Judith chapter 5, starting from verse number 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, which was the law, statutes, and commandments, what made us righteous, pursuant to Deuteronomy 6, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. Verse number 19. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Verse 20 is the point. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. The nations know the secret. We got to create some things that are so enticing and so tempting that it's going to entice many of them, the majority of them, to sin, because they're going to want to experience these things that we're going to create that's going to be very enticing. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but what? The ways of the wicked seduceth them. We're going to create some things to seduce them into sin. That's what we're going to do. And when they sin against their God, it shall be their ruin. That's today's class. Us sinning is a billion-dollar industry. We're going to get paid off of it. We're going to seduce them into sinning. God is not going to be with them, and we're going to get paid off of it. That's what we're going to do. Verse 20 again. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. And once they sin against God, and God turns his back on them, then we could go fight against them, and they're going to lose. But, verse 21, if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So the idea of us, what we're doing, going out prophesying in the highways and the byways and teaching on YouTube and going on Clubhouse and every other aspect, every other tool at our disposal to teach, what we're trying to do is we're trying to erase the error amongst our people. We're trying to get rid of the iniquity amongst our people so that the Most High will be with us and defend us. They can't have that. So this is the war that's being fought. This is the war that's being waged. Sometimes wars that's waged don't involve guns, knives, swords, bombs, etc. Sometimes there are other wars fought on other fronts. We are at war for the minds of our people. That's the real war. It's for the minds of our people. And they have many, many weapons greater than we have. And the greatest weapon they have is the media and all its tentacles to what? Seduce our people. That's the war we're really fighting. This is Jeremiah 5, verses 20 through 25. It says, declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not. Because our people can't see what we see. Because what did it say earlier? It said the Most High's secret is with the righteous. Who's the righteous? Those that keep the commandments. The rest of our people, they have eyes, but they can't perceive nothing. They can't see what's being done to them willfully, which we're going to go over. How they're being leveraged for business purposes by our enemies. They can't see it. Which have eyes and see not. Which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. Verse 23. But this people hath a revolting and rebellious heart, as your mind. They are revolted and gone. Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord our God that giveth rain, both the former and latter in his season. He reserveth us unto the appointed weeks of the harvest. Verse 25. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. And I've been arguing with people on different social media platforms over the past week that our people, it is our sins that hold things back from us. That's why there can't be no unity on any level. The man and the woman, we're not unified. Women and women don't get along. Let's be real. Y'all don't get along. That whole sisterhood thing is fake. Y'all don't get along. I'm not talking about necessarily the truth. I'm talking about in the world. Girl code, sister code, fake. We can't get along with our children. Old versus young, you name it. We're destroyed as a people because we don't want to listen to the words of the Most High. And one of the reasons I always say why people don't listen to the words of the Most High is because the Most High God hasn't come off his throne and had a conversation with anybody. When the Most High did speak to Israel, when you go back and you read in the scriptures, I believe it's Exodus chapter 20, the people told Moses, you know what? After the Lord spoke, they said, you know what? We don't want God to speak to us no more. We don't want God to speak to us no more. Let God talk to you and you talk to us. Our people think they want God to talk to them. You don't want God to talk to you. Because if God talks to you, you might drop dead. So the Most High sends men, and they look and say, that's That's Sahab. I remember him from school. Like that's Danielle. I remember before he was Danielle, his name was Daniel. I remember him. There ain't nobody. I'm not listening to you, right? You want God now in modern times. How people want God to come off his throne. Do we not read in the Bible when angels came down? Sometimes some of the prophets would drop dead. I've told the Most High never. I'm not saying it would happen. I've told the Most High plenty of times. This is me talking. I'll tell the Most High, listen, never send no angel to me, especially at night. I don't want to now because I'm gonna give it the ghost. Don't even do it. Don't do it. Send me a dream or something. Don't send no angel, no spirit to come talk to me because y'all gonna be putting me 6 feet under. I'm not gonna make it for real. And that's an angel, much less the Most High himself. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Anyway, let's move on. We're supposed to start with the men, even though the women are the first teachers of the children. But really, by default, the man really is, because the man, as a man, is supposed to teach a wife. First of all, you're supposed to find a wife that you know has a certain spirit on her that she can receive and be taught. And then you teach her, and she, in essence, teaches your children. It says, Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 23, it says, hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth, meaning from the time that they're young. Some brothers and sisters, you have children, you came into the truth at a certain age, and your children may have been teenagers or even adults, and you're wondering why they won't respect what it is that, the change that you've made in your life. You come into the truth and your children won't accept it. That's really because you're supposed to, as the Caribbeans say, you bend the tree when it's young. By the time a child reaches a certain age, they're already set in their ways. That's not to say that they can't change. But a lot of times they're already set in their ways. That's why the scriptures speak about training up a child when they're young, that when they get old, they won't depart from it. The idea is training them from little. Verse 24, hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful towards them. That's twofold. First of all, that goes to the perverts. Some of you brothers, man, I'm not saying you brothers in the truth, but in general in the world, some of you brothers are way too touchy-feely and way too friendly with your daughters. That's off. Off, 100% off. I'm a big believer, and I don't have daughters. I bet most time maybe didn't give me a daughter because I would have been crazy. I'd have been too strict. So the Most High know that. I wouldn't sleep at night. I wouldn't sleep at night, like the scriptures say. So the Most High knew that. Because at a certain age, your daughter shouldn't even be sitting on your lap. That's my opinion. Some of y'all may disagree. At a certain age, a girl should not even be sitting on your lap no more. You create boundaries as a father. You create boundaries. You're the first man your daughter knows. You create boundaries, and the boundaries you create, your daughter will carry that over to when she's dealing with men. You too friendly, she gonna be too friendly. Then you wonder what's going on. So that's the first understanding. The second understanding is when it says don't show yourself cheerful towards them. Some of you brothers, you treat your daughters with more, you gotta be strict on them too. Like you'll be strict on your son. You'll create boundaries for your son, and you'll be strict and hard on him, whatever, and you baby your daughters too much. And you're not strict on them. That's wrong too. Because you want to be their friend. Your children are not your friends. I just want you guys to understand. Everybody should know that. It's okay for your children to be mad at you. Some brothers and sisters, you don't want your kids to be mad. It's okay for your children to be mad at you. Sometimes that's a good thing. You should take it as a good thing. I'm glad you're mad. You mad? I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that I'm doing something right. Anyway, that's a whole nother class that we're going to do soon. But we're not doing that today. Let's move on. All right, guys, listen up.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
So from here on out, brothers and sisters, parental discretion is advised. This class is not for the children. If there's some children, you might want to excuse them from the room or something. I'm sorry, but I'm not holding nothing back. I'm not holding anything back. We're going to talk about this, and we're not holding nothing back.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
All right, you've been warned. If I go too far, the Elder Sahab will rebuke me later, but we're not holding
this.
So remember, today's class is called Sin. Our people sinning is big business. So I want to talk about one of the tools that's going to teach our children and has taught our children when we have neglected that responsibility, and that's hip hop, rap music. Rap music has been the single most influential thing on our people, I would say, going from at least 1990 till today. And in the era of where both parents a lot of times have to work, in an era where in our community as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, most of the time the father is not in the household, so mom has to work, and then she has to. That's not a knock on mom. She has to work. A lot of times, hip-hop and television is raising our children. You spend minimal hours with your children. Your children are in school all day, and in many cases, they come home and you're still at work, or when you just came home from work, you're trying to decompress. You're trying to unwind, so you're not spending as much time with your children as you may want to. But your children are still being raised by something. Guess what? Your children are being raised by hip hop and social media and popular culture. That's what they're being raised by. Now, Dr. Umar Johnson, who I'm not a big fan of, makes a very, very good point in this video. We're going to play it. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, y'all. Let's be real. Let's turn the video all the way up and let's listen to Dr. Umar.
Okay, let's go with the dollars. Hip hop, which is the most popular music genre on the planet, most influential. It's a multi-billion-dollar, probably almost $1 trillion industry, if it isn't.
Facts.
Right? And it's allowed all these rappers to get rich and buy homes and blah, blah, blah. Here's my question. How has Black America benefited from hip hop in its 50 years?
So that's a good question. Let's marinate on that for a second. How has Black America benefited from hip hop in the 50 years that hip hop has existed? I'm not asking how it has benefited the individual rappers, which in many cases it has not either, because most of them go broke. Most of them are broke and aren't really making any money off their music. But aside from that, how has this genre that we created actually benefited us in the 50 plus years it has existed? That's a good question. Let's keep going.
Show me a hospital that hip hop has built. Show me a school that hip hop has built. Show me a bank that hip hop has built. Show me a supermarket that hip hop has built. Show me a distribution center. Show me a manufacturing center that hip hop has built. I'm a nationalist. I am a Pan-African nationalist. I'm about the best interest of the nation. Nations have communities. Communities must have industries in order to take care of the people. Where is the infrastructure that hip hop is building for Black America? 50 years, not a single institution. That's not acceptable.
Who's to blame?
We are, because we allow it and we tolerate it. Now, we do know hip hop.
Now, I want to go back just a minute. Y'all bear with me. I like the question. Who's to blame? The first thing that Umar said is we are. Now, I'm setting the table for where I'm going. We are to blame. The problem is you have certain of people amongst our people that are coons that only want to blame us. What I'm here to tell you and what Umar is going to say is, yes, we take accountability because we don't have to consume this garbage that's being put out there. We don't have to. But what we're not going to do, like the coons, like the Anton Daniels of the world, like the Jason Whitlocks of the world, like the Officer Tatums of the world, what we're not going to do is we're not going to absolve the white man from his responsibility for peddling this trash in our community. We're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do. We're going to take accountability that we don't have to buy the trash that they peddle, but we're not going to back off of saying that they're the ones peddling this trash in our community. We're going to talk about both.
That hip hop is building for Black America. 50 years, not a single institution. That's not acceptable.
Who's to blame?
We are, because we allow it and we tolerate it. Now, we do know hip hop is dominated by Caucasian interests.
Yeah, I mean,
But what is stopping us from taking back ownership of hip hop? Nothing. We could take it back if we really wanted it back. But you know what? We're comfortable with white people being in charge. See,
that's a hell of a statement that he made. We are comfortable with white people being in charge, and I agree with that. And that doesn't just go to hip hop. That really falls on us as Black and Latino people overall. I'm a big proponent, and I told you guys this last week, and I'm going to be really, really, really focused on this year. A lot of us are focused or comfortable going to work and working for Esau, the so-called white man, and brothers and sisters are scared to open up businesses of your own. You're too comfortable. Just like the rappers are too comfortable just collecting checks from the white man in a genre that we created and we should own and control. Well, those of us that don't have any business acumen, you have nothing going on within yourself to try to be, create some sort of independence, financial independence from Esau. The same thing is true. For those of y'all that don't know, 300, you know what? Let's play the rest of this video. I'm going to show you guys something.
Post-traumatic slavery disease. The one thing Black people won't admit that slavery took from us, it took from us the natural God-given desire to want to control your destiny. We're the only people in America comfortable with white people running everything. Chinese come here, they're not comfortable with white people running nothing. Chinese got their own distribution, they got their own schools, they got it all.
Come on.
Arabs, East Indians, got it all.
Hey.
Look at us. We've been here longer than all of them. Not one hospital you can call your own. We are comfortable with white people being in charge as long as we can have fun.
We're comfortable with white people being in charge as long as we can have fun. There it is, and that's exactly what we're focusing on today. We're comfortable with white folks being in charge as long as you can have fun. And guess what? To have fun, you got to sin. But before we get to the next, it just came to me. This is not part of today's class, but the Spirit jumped on me and I said it. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Let's come over here. I'm just gonna type this in right here. And I want you guys to see this because we're so focused on Diddy and everything else till we're not focused on what's really happening. What's really going on. Ladies and gentlemen, between February and April of last year, 1 year ago, 300,000 Black women were laid off. 300,000. And it's only going to get worse. This is what I've been arguing with people on on social media about this week. 300,000. And the way AI is going, all the companies that, a lot of the trades that, our sisters are in, like the healthcare trade, the medical trade, so forth and so on, they're going to school and getting degrees for. These are institutions. These are careers where AI, within the next 5 to 10 years, is going to get rid of them anyway. So you're going to school for these things. AI is going to replace you anyway. It's going to get bad out here. And so Umar's correct. He's talking about the rappers, but I'm taking it a step further and saying, yo, this is crazy. And it's affecting predominantly our women. That's Isaiah 32. We ain't going to talk about that right now, right? Rise up, you women that are at ease. Yeah. That's why I'm encouraging brothers and sisters, be creative, sit down and think about it, counsel with myself, Zahar, whatever, and open up some type of business. I don't care what it is. Maybe you don't know what your talent is. Counsel with other people. Have a business running out of your household because this is going to affect a lot of our people. AI is going to get rid of a lot of jobs. I'm standing on the mountaintop and I'm warning y'all. I'm the watchman on the wall warning you. AI is going to get rid of a lot of jobs. Before it does, take the money that you have coming in, put aside a certain amount, and start a business. Okay, we're going to get back to today's class because that's not what I was supposed to be talking about. But the Spirit jumped on me to say that because it's the truth. Let's move on.
Okay,
So like I said, Black ignorance is sin, and sin is big business. Some of you guys may have seen this video on TikTok, but there are some of you guys that did not. Here we have the white man. This is Epic Records. And we have the white man that controls the music industry. And you have a room full of white people, and you have a Black rapper that's performing. He's trying to get a record deal. And I want you guys to just look at this. This is, I don't even know what to call this. I don't even know what to call this. Just watch it. Now they're all sitting there with a straight face and they're whatever they're doing, and they're gonna go home and laugh and talk about niggers as soon as they get home. This is crazy. Look at this. Wait. So, y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. Look at him shooting them with his hand, shooting them. You know what I'm saying? This is the music they want you to make. They want you to make. This is big business. Look again. Somebody come look at this. Boom, right there. Y'all see it?
I like that record. I want this song. I don't want that song. That's a white guy who's making that decision. I like the song.
Did you guys hear that? This is a white man talking. He says, I like this record. I don't like that record. It's white people making that decision. No, you killing black people on that record. I like that. Listen again. Let's go back just a little bit.
I like that record. I want this song. I don't want that song. That's a white guy who's making that decision. I like the song with the obscenity. I don't like the song with politics. So we're gonna have.
I like the songs with the obscenity. Don't like the songs with the politics. The songs with the obscenity makes us money. You got it?
This one on the CD and not that. You understand? Or you want to continue to work for us? So that's the story of hip hop, according to Patricia Rose. It is the corporate sale of racism. So, for example, Edgar Brown.
Hip hop is the corporate sale of racism because we allowed the white man to come in and buy us out, take over the industry. That's what they did. And now if you want to get in, you got to do what they say, which is you got to promote and peddle sin.
Who is the CEO under whom Wire Cohn works, who deals with Jay-Z. Edgar Bronfman is worth between $2.5 billion to $4 billion, depending on the year. So these are white people who control this industry, and we don't know much about any of them. Okay, they're marketing racist images of black people, especially.
So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Let's keep going. It gets better. This is Proverbs 22, verses 5 through 6. It says, thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. Here's that word again. People that are perverse. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. So you're supposed to be far from the froward. Verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Your children, if you teach them from young, they won't depart from your teachings when they get older and get into this froward, perverse mindset. Because what is the fruit of being in a froward and perverse mindset? Thorns and snares. Everything that's associated with modern day hip hop is destroying our people. Little by little. Okay. Time for some vocabulary, guys. Some of you guys skipped English class when you were in high school, whatever. So it's time for some vocabulary. What is a trope? A trope is a word or expression used in a figurative sense, a figure of speech, right? Definition 2 says something that's cliche. Like a trope would be that Democrats are tax and spend liberals. In other words, everybody that identifies as a Democrat agrees with spending money, the government spending money with no limits automatically just because you're a Democrat. And literally not everybody that's a Democrat believes the government should spend money, you know what I'm saying, unlimited. No, just because you're a Democrat, it doesn't mean that, but that becomes a trope, right? That's what a trope is. You just assign a particular stereotype to a group of people and you make it stick to everybody. That's called a trope. Everybody with me? Okay. So I want to know, is this really a trope? So we're going to watch this video. Do the people that wear the little bra cup style hats on top of their head, do they control banks and the media, so forth and so on, or is that a trope? Let's go ahead and let's listen to this fella right here. And we're going somewhere with all this. Just stay with me.
Hey, Rabbi, Why do they say that Jews control the banks?
Jews controlling the banks, Jews controlling the media, Jews controlling government is nothing more than anti-Semitic tropes. Jews throughout history have focused on education. With education, of course, does come success, but that doesn't mean that it's justified to say that the Jews that make up a very small percentage of the world population controls the banks, controls the media, and controls government.
So he says that these are tropes, these are cliches. It's not really true. That's what he says. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Rabbi.
Let's go to the next one. It's a trope until you realize it's not. Let's listen to the video.
James Brown, whose first hit, Please, 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 in 1956, began one of the most transformative careers in American music history. Now, it's worth noting that this history is complicated. Not all of these executives were saints. Some of them exploited the artists they signed, underpaid them, took publishing rights they had no business taking. The same web of creative cross-pollination that made this era so extraordinary was also full of financial exploitation that left many black artists with nothing while white executives got rich. The Chess brothers themselves were accused of shady accounting practices. Herman Lubinsky had a reputation in the industry for being ruthless with money. This was an era when few artists, regardless of race, owned their masters, and the executives who did often got rich at the artist's expense. But the cultural contribution is undeniable. Without these labels, without these Jewish entrepreneurs who saw something in black music when the mainstream wouldn't touch it.
So these entrepreneurs that's behind all these artists of old were all small hats. He said it's a trope, but when you go and you actually look at who's running these labels, it was them. So is it a trope? Let's keep going.
The entire trajectory of American popular music would be different. Hip-hop might not exist. Rock and roll might have stayed a regional phenomenon. Soul and R&B might have remained invisible to mainstream America for decades longer. The pattern repeated itself when hip-hop arrived. When rap music was still being called a fad, when radio wouldn't touch it, when major labels thought it was going nowhere and dismissed it as noise made by kids who would move on to something else in a year, it was again Jewish entrepreneurs who moved first.
It was the small hats who were the first ones to move when they realized that hip-hop actually had a future. Other people were saying it didn't, but the small hats stepped in. Started with this devil right here, which is Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, born Richard Rubin, Jewish kid from Long Island whose parents wanted him to be a lawyer, founded Def Jam Records out of his NYU dorm room in 1983 with $5,000 borrowed from his parents. His first signing was a rapper named Tila Rock. He recruited Russell Simmons as a partner, and together they turned Def Jam into the most important hip-hop label ever created. LL, Cool J, the Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, Run DMC, DMX, Jay-Z, Kanye West. All came through that label. All came through a vision that started in a dorm room funded by a Jewish kid who believed in the music when nobody else would.
There you go. So that's where the control is. The control is with them. Let's keep going.
Tom Silverman, another Jewish executive, founded Tommy Boy Records and signed Queen Latifah.
So I thought it was a trope, but we're seeing that, no, these are the people that actually control the industry. Is it really a trope? It's a trope until you realize it's not.
Coolio, De La Soul, and Naughty by Nature. Aaron Fuchs founded Tough City Records, the first rap label to secure a major label distribution deal, and worked with Cold Crush Brothers and other pioneering acts before Def Jam even existed as a public brand. Jerry Heller, Jewish, co-founded Ruthless Records with Eazy-E and helped introduce NWA to the world, the group that gave us Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and the template for West Coast gangsta rap.
So gangsta rap comes into hip-hop through Jerry Heller, which is a small hat. Let's keep going.
Rosenberg, also Jewish, became Eminem's manager and one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop business, later serving as CEO of Def Jam itself. Clive Davis, Jewish, from Brooklyn, a lawyer by training who stumbled into music and never looked back, founded Arista Records, signed Whitney Houston, and discovered her potential when everyone else saw a backup singer, launched Barry Manilow, developed Patti Smith, signed the Grateful Dead, relaunched Aretha Franklin's commercial career, and later founded J Records, where he launched Alicia Keys with Songs in a Minor, which sold 10 million copies and swept the Grammys. He became Chief Creative Officer of Sony Music. He is widely considered the most artistically influential record executive in the history of American music. So by the time we get to Lucian Grange, there is already a deep, complicated, powerful history of Jewish music exec.
So we're clearly seeing this is not a trope. This is true.
James Brown.
Let's go to the next one. Let's keep going. Just going to keep going. Some things don't need no commentary from me. Let's keep going. So Lucian Grange is the CEO of Universal Music Group. That's the largest record label that there is. And he's a small hat. Keep going. I want you guys to look at the reason why this is important, right? He's a small hat. We want you guys to look at the money is being put behind what images, what artists, and what images. Look at the images that's being pushed by them. All these people are on the same record label. You guys see a pattern? One record label pushing all that satanic stuff. But there's nothing to see here. It's a trope. It's a trope. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Just listen. Some things don't need a lot of commentary. Just listen. Let me turn it all the way up. Just listen.
All of this is now owned by one single family, the Ellisons. This is billionaire Larry.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
This is his.
I know you can't. I know you guys can't see everything, but you guys can see a lot of it. All of this is owned by one family, small hats. All this. Skydance, TikTok, Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes, DC Studios, HBO, CNN, CBS, Showtime, TBS, Comedy Central, TLC, Paramount, VH1, BET, MTV, the Batman franchise, Superman franchise, I'm saying the Flash franchise, Harry Potter, all owned, Lord of the Rings, the Justice League, all owned by one family of small hats. But it's a trope. Yeah.
This is now owned by one single family, the Ellisons. This is billionaire Larry Ellison, and this is his son David, and they've been on an absolute spending frenzy. First, they took over CBS Paramount in 2024 on behalf of Israel. Then last year, Larry Ellison bought TikTok, also on behalf of Israel. And now the Ellisons are taking over Warner Brothers for $111 billion. Keep in mind that Larry Ellison is the largest single private donor to the IDF, and he just so happens to be very close friends with Netanyahu. They wouldn't be trying to run some kind of psychological operation on us.
No,
would they?
No.
Why can't Israel be doing some sort of, counterintelligence, information warfare like this, where they are actually doing the same type of, psychological operations in America?
All of this comes as, for the first time in American history, American support for Palestinians is greater than that of Israel. Probably all just a coincidence.
Probably. I don't know. We don't know, right? You do your own research. It's a trope until you realize it's not a trope. This is an old video, Charlemagne the God. Many of you guys have seen this already.
You know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers?
Hold on. Let's go. Let's put the volume all the way up. And the question is, do you know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers? Why is there not a lot of Jewish rappers, Charlemagne?
You know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers? Because there's Jewish owners and Jewish CEOs. They run these labels.
They run these labels. And we used to think they just ran the labels, but they didn't tell you what to put out. Let's keep going.
The bosses. That's why. I'm uncomfortable. Well, what did Kanye say? He said, "Happy Kwanzaa to all the artists and happy Hanukkah to all the labels." It's the truth. They run the business period, from Hollywood to the music industry, everything. And I mean, it's a very powerful mafia, as they should be. See, the problem with black people, we don't have no power. No matter what we do, we can all click up. We don't have no organization that has holds anyway. And NAACP don't hold no weight. We don't have no organization that holds no weight. You can't speak bad about a Jewish person because they have organizations and they're a close-knit group of people in power who will bring you down. Same thing with gays. You can't say nothing bad about gays because they move as a unit. Black people don't have that.
I mean, if you do a racist comment about black people, there are repercussions.
When?
You don't just walk away from that.
Who? Give me an example.
I mean, Kramer.
That's because he was white.
You guys got that? They control everything. They control the Federal Reserve. All these internet spying, as you guys have been seeing. Anybody have an Android in the audience? They're getting ready to get rid of Android messaging, and now it's going to be Google messaging for text messages, right? Because of them. They created Hollywood. We know that. They control the courts, the cancer industry. Pornography. Do you guys know that the biggest pornography companies are owned by them too? But it's a trope. Let's keep going.
You know what?
Now, time for more vocabulary. I got to do this because you guys skip class when you're in high school. Does anybody know what the mere exposure effect is? If not, you're going to learn it today. The mere exposure effect is a psychological phenomenon by which people tend to develop a liking or disliking for things merely because they are familiar with them. Let me help you guys understand what we're talking about. We were talking about the music industry, wasn't we? We were talking about how they control the music industry, weren't we? You guys listen to the radio and you hear a record and you don't like it. The first time you hear it, you don't like it. But the radio station keeps playing it over and over and over and over and over again. And then a couple of weeks, a couple of months down the line, that same record you didn't like comes on the radio. Now you're singing along with it. Now you like the record. Do you really like the record though? Or is that a psyop? It's called the mere exposure effect. We're going somewhere with all of this. This is what they do to you on the radio. This is what they do to you on MTV and BET. Records you don't like, they keep playing it over and over again until you begin to start to like it, even though you really don't like it. It's a psyop. The mere exposure effect is a psychological phenomenon by which people tend to develop a liking or disliking for things merely because they are familiar with them. In social psychology, this effect is sometimes called the familiarity principle. The effect has been demonstrated with many kinds of things, including words, Chinese characters, paintings, Caesar Borgia, paintings, pictures of faces, geometric figures, and sounds. Music will fall under sounds. So here's what's happening. The small hats are pushing, as I'm going to show you guys in a minute, for certain records, certain sounds to be pushed over and over again. The records that's being played on the radio is not because you like them. It's not because the people are saying, I like that record. No, they're being played because there's a certain outcome they want to happen. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let's go. What is payola? Payola is the mere exposure effect. What is payola? If you're into music, you already know this. If you're not into music, maybe you don't know this. Payola is the mere exposure effect in practice. Check it out.
Payola is one of the dirtiest secrets in music history. It's the practice of record labels or promoters paying DJs and radio stations to play or not play certain songs.
So, what is payola? We're going to go back and we'll listen to it again. Payola is record labels paying the DJs on the radio to play something over and over again, the mere exposure effect, or to not play something. In other words, a record that's positive, that talks about politics and uplifts our people. It's a great record. It sounds good. We'll pay you. Don't play that. Let's go back.
Payola is one of the dirtiest secrets in music history. It's the practice of record labels or promoters paying DJs and radio stations to play or not play certain songs. It wasn't about talent or popularity. It was about who had the money to buy airtime.
It's not about talent or popularity, because if it was about talent or popularity, our sister Shemaya would be a big music artist today. Our brother Roy the Chef would be a big rapper today if it was about talent. It's not about that. It's not about that.
Here's a little known fact. The word itself comes from pay plus Victrola, an old record player brand. By the 1930s and 40s, payola was so common that some DJs earned more from bribes than their salaries. The truth? The hits you heard on the radio weren't always chosen by fans. They were often bought and sold behind the scenes. Follow Music History Reclaimed to uncover how the music industry paid to control what you heard.
So the records that you guys are hearing on the radio today, and really since, I'm saying forever, since the 40s, 50s, all the way up to today, are not necessarily records that the people said we like this. It's the record labels paying money for these records to be promoted. And then you have the what? Mere exposure effect. And you fall in love with records that you really don't even like. Because the first time you heard it, you didn't like it.
Payola.
Here's an artist from the Def Jam record label. His name was Richie Rich. He's before a lot of you guys' times. He was an artist in the 90s. I believe he's from Oakland, California. And he's been going on a radio run talking about his career. And he was signed to Def Jam Records. And he thought his record was really a hit. Come to find out, his record was never a hit. They paid for it to be a hit because they liked the message in it. And he was brokenhearted behind it. Listen to the interview. Listen to the interview. And we're still going somewhere. We haven't reached our destination yet. We're going somewhere with all of this.
They let me see the backside of the music when I signed up.
Explain that. What did you see?
So basically, like I said, I was hustling. They met me with a Rolex and an S5. You feel me? So Russ and them respected me as a hustler. So they let me see what this shit really was. I remember Leora telling me, he said, let me tell you a story, Let's Ride. Yeah, Let's Ride. That was the first thing off my album.
Yeah, that's the banger.
And the box was the video shit back then. Remember the music box?
You had to order it.
Calling requests.
Yeah.
I got to do this. I'm sorry. I was going to let it play, but some of y'all are young, so y'all don't know. Before your MTV Raps, before BET, before 106 in Park and everything, right? Before all those things, you had something called the box. This is in like the 90s, the late 90s. It had something called the box, right? Where people would call in and request certain songs, and the songs that people called in and requested will be the songs that would play on the box. I know that's kind of hard to, but this is before Yo MTV Raps. This is before 106 in Park. There's something called the box. So it was supposed to be, I'm gonna try to make it clear for y'all. It was supposed to be the people choosing what records were hot and which ones were not. That's what it was supposed to be. So what he's going to tell you is that his record was popping on the box. So he thought the people liked him. Wrong.
I remember Leora telling me, he said, let me tell you a story, Let's Ride. Yeah, Let's Ride. That was the first thing off my album.
Yeah, that's a banger.
And the box was the video shit back then. Remember the music box?
You had to order it.
Calling requests.
Yeah.
Boom. So I'm sitting at the house, my son goes out. Russell and they got me right. I got big billboards in the town. I mean, it's bigger than big. You imagine you take a guy who already has like a street thing there, and then bam, that. I mean, it was just lining up. So the video goes number one on the box. I'm juiced. Paper before I call Leo. said, we number one on the box. I told you. He said, yeah, I know, Richie. I bought the spot. Let me give you a second. I'll call you right back.
There it is.
I said, you know what?
But how ironic is that?
Did you guys catch that? The box was call and request for the people. They request stuff. So the most requested is number one. So his song was number one. So he got juice, like he said. And he called Leo Cohen, the small hat, and said, hey, I'm number one. He said, yeah, we paid for that. They paid the box off. We paid for that. What am I showing you guys? I'll tell you where we're going. They pay for things because there's a certain message, a certain aesthetic that they want to push on our people. These records that are playing that we all can sit back and say, these songs aren't talking about nothing. They're not saying nothing. They're destructive, but yet and still the radio stations continue to play this stuff from back in the 90s till today. We all say the same things like, why are these records being played? Why is this being promoted? Why is Lil Nas X being promoted? Payola. The small hats have an agenda they want to push. Period. Point blank. That's it.
The owner, the person running the label, say, yeah, Richie, we bought those spots.
And he said he bought the number one spot. And I'll be honest with you, that shit hurt. Because I did that shit right. I thought the people was requested.
Yo, you thought they liked you.
Hey, bro. And it was me. And Leo firsthand walked me through this game and told me what it was and what it wasn't. He said, Richie, let me explain something. He said, Richie, it's all payola. Just understand these things have to happen. You have to grease the wheels for everything to go the way it goes. I could make your grandmother the hottest woman in the country in 6 months.
Leo Cohen told this man he could make your grandmama hotter than Glorilla. I could make your grandmama hotter than Nicki Minaj. So what is this showing you? There's a certain aesthetic. There's a certain image. There's a certain thing that they want to push, and they're doing that because it makes them money. Us sinning makes them money. Let's keep going. Who is Julia Greenwald? Let's talk about her. Who is who? Yeah, she's not that important, but we're going to talk about her anyway. Who is Julie Greenwald? The last name tells you everything you need to know. She wears a small hat like the men wear small hats. And she's who? She is or held a senior executive role at Def Jam Recordings. Def Jam Recordings. Where your Kanye West comes from, your Jay-Z, your DMX, they were all on this label. She has a senior executive role there. What does she do there? What does she do? Well, let's listen to the rapper Saigon, who had an experience with her. And let's see what she does and what she tells these young black guys that come to the record label. Let's see what she says to them. Let me turn the volume all the way up so we can see it. Listen.
What happened was once Julie Greenwald started to see what direction I was going in, she wasn't happy.
So let me help y'all out. I'm gonna play it back. I promise I'm gonna let it play all the way through. I gotta give you a background. Saigon comes from prison. He comes from prison. So when he first got out, he got a record deal. And he was talking that gangster, that bust your gun stuff. He was talking that. And Julia Greenwald, she liked him. But as he progressed and matured after he got out, he started realizing, yeah, I'm destroying my people. I'm going to start making more positive records. And she was like, no. No. She was like, no, you keep making them bust your gun records, right? You could do your album. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to tell you everything he's going to say so y'all catch all of it. Because you think your favorite artists are just making these records and everything. No. There's an agenda, and these small hats are behind it, and they're pushing this and peddling this in our community for us to destroy ourselves because it's big business. She told him, check this out, right? You're going to have 12 songs on your album. You're going to release 3 singles. We're going to promote and put the money behind 3 singles. Your 3 singles, you got to be talking that gangster stuff, killing yourself, selling drugs, and all that, right? The rest of the album, you can say positive stuff. Because guess what? We're not putting no money behind that. Nobody's going to hear it unless they buy your album. Because we all know how music works, right? Most times people only buy the single. They don't buy the album. So they know you by your singles. So if your singles is shoot 'em up, rah, 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 that's what people know. That's what we're going to put our money behind. So you can do your album. And guess what? You can make 3 songs, shoot 'em up, rah, rah, rah. We're going to put those out and we're going to put money behind it. The rest of your album, you can be talking all that positive stuff. We don't care. Listen to him tell y'all that. This is her.
What happened was once Julie Greenwald started to see what direction I was going in, she wasn't happy because they signed I got my buzz off that Come Again. Come Again. When we on Me and True Life on Smack with guns out, they really much wanted me to go in there and do shoot 'em up, bang, bang. And that's when I realized that these fucking record companies be behind a lot of the bullshit that we get. I experienced it. I experienced it firsthand where they told me, look, the executive said to me in my face, she said, bust your artistic nut on the rest of your album. I need my 3 singles to sell this shit. I need to sell it. So I got to do what sells, Saigon. This shit, saving your community and trying to save the children, the shit don't sell.
Saving your community and trying to save your children don't sell. Let's keep.
Priest, could I say something real quick?
Yes, as Elder. Go ahead, man.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. What she said to the artist, that's a damn lie. All right, I'm gonna say something. Who remember going back, right? There was a white boy group, and they was call themselves the Beastie Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember them.
Oh yeah.
They had a bunch of small hats too.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see them doing that. And they had one album which was kind of that was licensed to ill, right? The rest of them albums, they was on some trippy funk foolishness. You can't tell me that sell, right? So if you're gonna promote the Beastie Boys and promote all that weirdo trippy white boy ish, you could spend money and you could promote other music. So what she's saying is a bunch of crap. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? And the Beastie Boys, they don't make so-called small hats look bad. Right? Another dude, what's his name? Third base. MC Search, right? I think he's a small hat too.
Yes, he is.
Oh, there we go. He ended up managing Nas. He had his own little thing, Searchlight Promotions or whatever, right? Exactly. Captain Zakarian know what I'm talking about, right? That white boy, he came out, did his little goofy white boy stuff, and then got into the music industry as an executive and perpetrated the foolishness. So I don't want to hear this, oh no, that's what sells. You heard what Leon says, right? I could make your grandmama hot, right? They could buy and sell and promote who they want to. They didn't have to do that. They wanted to do that. I just wanted to bring that out. Go ahead, please.
And to Elder Zah's point, the Beastie Boys are on her label. How come she didn't tell them to make the Shoot 'em Up, Bustin' Bang Bang records? They're on Def Jam too.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's keep going.
This shit, saving your community and trying to save the children, the shit don't sell. So pretty much what sells is bang, bang, kill them, gang banging, shoot them up, girl twerk, shake your ass, make yourself look like a worthless piece of meat, twerk, the shit that's going on now. Still. You know that? Every rapper's a gangbanger, every male rapper's a gangbanger, every female twerks and shows a titty. Like that's not by design. There's something behind that.
So tonight,
There's something behind that is the small hats. They're behind that.
hey, we are really, really fortunate because when you look at the list, if you look at the Billboard list of the most powerful women in the entertainment music industry, always at the the tippy top, is our guest tonight, Julie Greenwald, and I'm really thrilled that she took the time.
There you have it. There it is. She's at the tippy top, right along with her men. Let's keep going. There's more. We have our guy Liar Cohen. That's a homophone, guys. Liar, L-Y-O-R, is liar, L-I-A-R. It's a homophone. Words that sound the same, but have different spelling. Because this guy's the devil the Bible speaks about. This is an oldie but a goodie. We've seen this many times, but check it out anyway.
I just don't like how he exploits our culture. And then when he got on the radio and tried to say, who's Damon? And he actually got on the radio and said, yo, I know what they're doing, but I got to eat.
How could you like a man that would
I
do
saw
that?
that anything like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup, and
It's the most dangerous. The most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
so why sign an artist that was a mocha?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
Was it that hypocritical though?
It's opportunistic. Yeah, I got people to feed.
Let's go back and listen to that again. It's opportunistic. He's signing rappers that are addicted to drugs. That's that whole emo rap genre. These guys are addicted to drugs. In the 90s, the rappers were drug dealers. Now, rappers are addicted to drugs. He's signing them, and he said it's opportunistic. Yeah, he's admitting it. We're taking advantage of you, but I have to eat.
Was it that hypocritical though?
It's opportunistic. Yeah, I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
So he has people to feed and a business to run, and it's opportunistic to peddle this type of crap in our community. But he has people to feed and a business to run. You guys have seen this video already, so I ain't gonna prolong it. Let's move on because there's plenty more to go. More vocabulary because y'all cut class. So I'm a keep giving y'all vocabulary. What is social engineering? What's that? Social engineering is the context of information security. Social engineering is the use of psychological pressure to influence people to perform actions or divulge confidential information. It has also been broadly defined as an act that influences a person or people. Any act that influences a person to take action that may or may not be in their best interest. That's what social engineering is. You take actions that are really not in your best interest, but they keep feeding you images and music, so forth and so on, right? And it becomes ingrained in your psyche, and you start acting these things out in real life. That's social engineering. Here's a video of Ice Cube speaking about that. And not only are the record executives signing artists that peddle this crap, but the artists that they sign, they're also giving their opinions and their feedback about what you should write. Don't write that song, write this song. We already saw that with Saigon. Now we have Ice Cube, who's a bigger, more well-known person, saying the same thing. A lot of your favorite records are records by committee, meaning the artist writes the record, submits it to the label's like, change this word, change that word, say this, say that. That's a record by committee. You haven't killed enough people in a song. You know what I'm saying? Just listen.
I saw you on Bill Barr, and you were talking about the record industry. You said that the record industry uses social engineering and rap to encourage criminal behavior. At what point did you realize it?
Oh man, after I got mature in the game, after I knew that records were made by committee. A lot of albums, a lot of dope songs people like are made by a group of people telling rappers what to say, or what's dope, or that line ain't good enough, or let's change this, get somebody up here that can write, and all this kind of hip hop by committee. And yeah, the record companies, it'd be their people in there.
It'd be their people in there writing these records that we all hate. Those of us that's awakened, we all hate these records. It's them and small hats in there telling them, say this, say that. Let's keep going.
Never had an A&R. I've never had a record company guy tell me shit about my music, about how to make it. Some of it they liked, some of it they didn't, some of it they raised their eyebrow to, but that's what I turned in, that's what they had to accept. And that's hip hop to me.
For those of y'all that don't know Ice Cube's history, because some of y'all are a little younger, Ice Cube was signed to a independent record label called Priority Records. They had major label distribution, but he was signed to an independent label, which is why a lot of times they couldn't tell him what to say, which is why his albums weren't as bad. And there was a lot of social commentary in his albums as opposed to other artists that were contemporary to him at the same time. their records weren't like that. His was like that because he was signed to Priority Records, which was an independent label. And so they were not all these A&Rs telling them what to say. And then Priority had major distribution. That's what it was. But that doesn't exist anymore. That was a 90s thing. That don't exist no more.
Yeah.
There were loopholes back then. Go ahead, Zab.
No, I was gonna say Death Certificate. That album was, to me, one of his best albums, man.
Yeah.
He was talking a lot of stuff too.
Mm-hmm. That was a classic for sure. All right. So now let's go to another interview he had with Bill Maher. Some of you guys have seen this already. So we want to know, is what he's saying true or is it a conspiracy? True or false? Let's listen to what he has to say. Ice Cube is saying, let's read the caption first before we play the video. Ice Cube says the same people in power at the labels, the ones that are doing payola, the ones that are making sure that certain records get played over and over again, the mere exposure effect is over and over again. Your children keep hearing these records over and over again. They're negative as hell, right? What is that doing? He's saying that the people that are at the labels that are paying DJs to play these songs over and over again are also the same people that own prisons. Because the message in the music, especially for the boys, is crime. One word, crime. So now you're listening to you're exposed to this over and over again, and you want to act these things out. Your favorite artists act these things out. You do these things, and then you wind up in prison. So he's saying it's the same people. This is what he's saying. This is not me saying it. This is not El Zahab saying it. This is Ice Cube saying it. Is this true, or is it a conspiracy? Let's listen real quick.
Who benefits and profits off our bickering and our division? Take rap music. Let's take it. Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Well, the people that own the labels are the small hats. We've seen that. They're the ones that own these labels. It's the small hats. Okay.
Who benefits and profits off our bickering and our division? Take rap music. Let's take it. Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So literally the same people? Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So, it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry. But they didn't make you write those lyrics. It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails.
So you guys get the idea, right? Now, some people tell you that's a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. So we're going to use the scientific method. Ice Cube made an observation because he's in the industry. He understands that, hey, I'm seeing certain things. I'm in the industry. I'm seeing it's all these small hats are the owners of these record labels. So now he has a question. You own the label. Why is the labels that you own only one type of music coming out of it? It's all negative. It's all degenerate. Why? So then he comes up with an hypothesis that it's because these people want this stuff in our community to keep us down, to destroy us, for us to destroy ourselves. But I'm not sure that's really what it is. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong. Let me go ahead and do a test and test it and then come to a conclusion. So we're going to use the scientific method. We're going to do it real quick. I went to AI and I asked AI a question. You guys already know, I've told you this many times. When I go to AI, I don't go there to learn from it. I go there to tell it for it to tell me what I already know. So I asked AI a question. I says, does Vanguard and BlackRock have any connection or investment in the music industry? Because Ice Cube made a statement. He wasn't real specific, but I was walking with him. I know what to ask. I know about Vanguard and I know about BlackRock. They own pretty much everything. So I want to know if they are invested in the music industry. And AI said yes. Both Vanguard and BlackRock have massive multi-layered connections in the music industry, and they specifically have a lot of money invested in the big three, which is Universal Music Group, that's for your Def Jam and Lyrico and everybody else, Warner Music Group, and Sony Music Group. They have BlackRock and Vanguard have a lot of money in music. Now, I went on to ask Gemini, which is the AI that I use, if Vanguard has investments in the prison industry, because I was following Ice Cube's lead. I was walking with him, and Gemini was arguing with me about AI is smart. It understood where I was going, so it didn't really want to answer the question. So we was going in circles. So I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and ask another AI a different question and see what it says. So I went to ChatGPT. And I said, does Vanguard, and I spelled BlackRock wrong, but it understands what I'm saying, have any investment in the prison system? And it says, yes. Yes. So Vanguard and BlackRock are indeed invested in the music industry, but they are also invested in the prison industry too. Where Ice Cube got it wrong was he said that they own the prisons. That's where he got it wrong. But I understood exactly what he was saying. They don't necessarily own the prisons because the prisons are owned, the private prisons are owned by these two groups predominantly, Core Civic and the GEO group. These groups are not Vanguard or BlackRock, no. But Vanguard and BlackRock are investors and shareholders in these groups. While at the same time, they're also investors in the music industry as well. So what he said was correct. Whether he articulated it 100% in that interview with Bill Maher or not, what he said was correct. There's a conflict of interest. You are invested in the music industry, specifically the top 3 music groups which promote negative music in our community, and you're also invested in the prison system and the music that comes out, like you guys have been hearing. They want you to make the kill them, shoot them up, bang bang music. And hip hop is one of the biggest contributors in our community. It's one of the biggest influences in our community. Let's move on. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. It says, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, which is your mind. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So we're supposed to continuously, diligently, continuously, fervently teach our children about keeping the commandments. That's the idea. So once again, I'm going to give you guys a warning. Some viewers may find the following videos to be disturbing. So viewer discretion is advised. If there's children still around, if I told y'all to get the kids out the room, I don't know what to tell you. I'm giving you guys a warning now. Let's come back to Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 7, verse 23. This is a failure on behalf of the men. I'm ashamed of this video. And I'm just using nice words. There's much more I want to say. I want to drop F-bombs and everything else with the men. Because men will be quick to tell you, I'm the leader, I'm this, I'm that, right? You know, blame everything on the women, The reason for our community being in shambles, and the women have a lot to do with why our community is in shambles. I'm gonna show those videos too. I'm not pulling no punches. I don't care who's offended. I'm not pulling no. The women are highly responsible. I say the majority of responsibility because the majority of households in our community is women led. Men are not even there. So the majority of the degeneracy in our community actually comes from the women. You know what I'm saying? Not holding up their responsibility as mothers. Nevertheless, I ain't gonna be stupid. The men have responsibility too. We're not gonna be stupid. Some of these niggas that's around, I said niggas because that's what you guys are gonna see. Some of these niggers that are around, they're part of the problem too. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 23. It says, "Hast thou children? Instruct them," meaning teach them, "and bow down their neck from the youth," meaning you make your children respect you. You demand respect from your children from the time that you're not trying to be their friends. You don't care if they like you or don't like you. You're not trying to be their favorite parent. Let mommy be the favorite parent. As the father, bow down their neck from the youth. That's what you're supposed to do. Meanwhile, we got fathers right here. This clown and this clown. Before I even play the video, you guys can see. You see the young dude right there with the gun in his hand? The youth? While two grown-ass men, this dude with a guy, it looked like he's about 6 months pregnant. These two dudes right here with the kid with the gun in his hand. Let's play. Let me turn the volume up, man. And you see this dude right here with the baby right here. Let's go back. Look at the baby right here. I know y'all watch the dude with the gun. Watch the baby with the money. Where did they learn this from? They learned this from these niggas. They learned it from these niggas. That's where they learned it from. Hip hop raised those men, and those men raised these children. The music that the so-called small hats put out there influenced the men, because those men look my age, influenced the men, and the men influenced the children. And that's why they put these records out. That's why they spend money in payola for these records to be played over and over again, the mere exposure effect. So that we have this in our community. Now the baby got the gun. Come on, man.
Yo, them prison industrial complex, they doing the Birdman hand rub right now.
School to prison pipeline for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Let's move on because I'm getting mad watching that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 30. Let's start from verse number 3. It says, "He that teacheth a son grieveth the enemies." That's why they don't want us to teach our children. That's why they make it so the man is not in the house. The mother has to work, and hip hop is raising our children in social media. And then guess what? You can't grieve the enemy because now your children are doing that BS that we just saw. "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemies, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him." Verse 4. "Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself." In other words, if you teach your son right, even when you die as a father, that ideology that you taught your son, that lifestyle, that mindset is with you and your son. It's like as though it's the father still there, whether he's alive or not. Verse 5, "While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful." Verse 6, "He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends." Go back and read the story of Solomon. That's exactly what Solomon was. David told Solomon to put a lot of people to death when on his deathbed. He told Solomon, kill a lot of people because a lot of people were not loyal. And Solomon did just that. Verse 7, "He that maketh too much of a son shall bind up his wounds," because you're being friendly with your kids. I don't believe in that. "And his bowels will be troubled at every cry." Verse 8, "And horse not broken becometh headstrong." You don't break your sons when they're younger, they're going to become headstrong. You're no longer going to be running your house. Your son is going to be running your house and telling you what to do. "And a child left to himself will be willful. Cocker thy child, and he shall make thee afraid." Cocker means spoil or pamper. That's what those fathers were doing in that video we just saw. Play with him, and he will bring these to heaven. As you're playing, those dudes were playing with those kids. They had the gun, the money, whatever like that. As soon as they become teenagers, a grown man, they go out and shoot somebody. Now you're crying. He was a good boy. He shouldn't be on my. Yeah. Verse 10. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, unless thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Verse 11. Give him not liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. That's what they were doing. They were winking at his follies. You got your sons there grabbing guns and doing that money stuff, whatever they were doing, as though it was funny. That's a failure on behalf of the men. I got a lot to show y'all, so I ain't gonna. Let's keep going. Now, some of y'all saw this video before. Some of y'all did not. So now I want everybody, because I want audience participation. I want audience participation. I want to know your thoughts on this. Let's read the caption in the video. It says, Memphis father checks his son for flexing with his guns on Facebook. In other words, this father had guns all around his house. His son saw the guns and decided to go to Facebook and flex with the guns. Where does the son get that from? He gets it from hip hop. That's why I went through all what I went through. I went through all that to get here. The son thinks it's cool to flex with the guns on Facebook because that's what he sees in rap videos and in video games and in movies. So I thought it was cool. Now we have the father dealing with the situation. I want to know your thoughts. This is Sirach chapter 7, verse 23. Hast thou children? Instruct them and bow down their necks from their youth. So you're supposed to bow down their necks to the youth. I want you brothers and sisters to watch this video. I really, really want your feedback on this. Pay attention. So the father found out that the son was on Facebook posing with the father's guns. And this is what happened after the father found this out. Let's watch the video. Let me turn the volume all the way up. Pay attention.
Can pull up? Whoever want to play. While y'all pull y'all toes up, I guarantee y'all we got air on y'all. Pull up. I'm on it. Do it. Yeah, for that. Now, come here. Come here. Come on, quit playing with me. Come here.
Y'all caught that? He smacked the dog fire out of his son. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Do it. Yeah, for that. Now, come here. Come here. Come on, quit playing with me. Come here.
Is this what the scripture is talking about? When the scripture speak about bowing down the neck of the son, is this what it's talking about? Let's keep going.
That's what I'm saying. These your friends, though. Your friends get your. If you ever in your life listen to one of them raise your hand to me, I will bury you. And bury they dust and too.
So he's telling his son, I'll bury you and bury your friends too. Is this what this is talking about? I want to know. Y'all can talk about it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Is that what this is talking about?
Play with me, David. This type of I'm talking about. These little boys, these little girls, gonna meet the shot you, boy. Play with me if you want to. You better choose the little ring and wide.
So he now got his hands in his face. Is this what this is talking about? I want to know. Y'all let me know.
You know, it's so funny, priest, man. In certain cultures, right, the father does get physical, right, and discipline his child. But the thing about it is, you got social media, right? He's doing this for the cameras.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna
He's doing that for the camera. So now you put that on social media, it's gonna live on social media. Now, how do you think the child is gonna respond to that? Because he got to live that. Social media is forever. You know,
well,
what I mean?
you called it out because we were going to get to that. This is Ephesians 6 verse 4. It says, "Ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nature and the admonition of the Lord." The reason why a young boy thought it was okay, he's seen it in rap videos. He's seen it online. He's seen it. Right. That's why the Soak and Small Hats pushed that. That's why we went through all of that. That's why we went through all of that. because it makes the young people do things and act out a certain way. Then you end up in prison, so they make money on both sides. Big business. Sin is big business. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nature and admonition of the Lord. Now we're going to come back and we're going to watch it again. We're going to watch it again. Now there's not going to be no blocking it. You guys are going to see it. Pay attention.
Now, come here.
Wrong. Let's read what Elder Zahab said and what this brother's about to say in the video. This is Colossians 3:21. What Zahab said is in the Bible. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Like he said, like Zahab said, he's going to say in the video. Now this child is going to, that smack in the face online is going to follow that child for the rest of his teenage life. Through every school, he's going to be bullied and all that behind that. Correcting your children doesn't mean doing this. That was wrong.
Hell yeah. And if that's the case, if you're a responsible gun owner, why is your guns around?
That's the next question.
Come on.
Why is your
man.
guns laying around the house open for him to see it?
Now, don't get it wrong. You're supposed to discipline the boy, but not like that in
camera.
front of all exactly off
camera.
camera. Why is our people got this sick fetish of putting everything out in the public, for everybody to see their dirty laundry, man? Don't do that.
This child is a byproduct of what he sees. He sees his peers with the gun shit and everything. He sees it in music videos. He sees it in the video games. He sees it in the movies. That's why he thought it was cool. Because sin is big business. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go and let's watch the video.
Now, come here.
I'm not trying to be funny about it, but I want y'all to watch. I'm gonna play one more time. I want y'all to watch how that boy's spirits. Look at his eyes after his father does that on camera. And the mother is the one that's filming it. His whole spirit leaves him. It's over for this young man. We don't know how he's going to turn out. This is wrong. And by the way, just so y'all know, this dude took the video down because he was getting roasted and he knows he's wrong. He knows he's wrong. Look at his eyes.
I'm not laughing at the kid, but black people, we can't do this. This is not the old days, man. Y'all can't do it like this. I mean, he uppercut slapped him. Like he slapped the temp fade back in the boy here. He instantly slapped him into a deep depression. You can see it on his face. Now, I'm all about disciplining my kids and stuff like that, but you have to do that behind closed doors, man. And I'm sure he probably outstanding father, man. But what you just done is just made it worse for that kid because you slapped him in front of millions on TikTok. And now I think he's really gonna be worse off because now he has to go to school and hear about that shit. He's going to get bullied for the rest of the time he's in school, not for the rest of his life. And in return, that means he's going to do whatever he can to protect himself. Because kids at school will be clowning him so bad that eventually he's going to end up fighting motherfuckers and probably escalate to something more violent.
And so there's a balance. As men, I'm talking to the men because we're going to get to the women. As men, that was a failure. I want y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be more wiser than that. That was crazy. That was crazy.
A sister in the chat said that that kid will probably turn on his father. If he doesn't turn on his father, he's gonna resent him.
Yep.
You know, my dad had put the fear of God in me so much he never had to physically touch me. I think he whooped my ass one, maybe two times in my entire life. To this day, sometimes you don't have to do that. It's like what the scripture says, bow them down from when they are young. Don't play with them. So now, priests, when you're talking to your son, I see why you strong-willed. Zahab, when I'm talking to my son, I'm like, yo, ain't nothing funny. I used to always be like, yo, why dads are like the like, you know, when you go to a party and you know somebody's having a good time, somebody want to ruin it. That's how they portray fathers, right? We ruin a good time. That's what the mothers say, because the mothers, they want to have a good time. I'm not dissing or saying nothing bad, because all little boys love their mother. They want to run to their mom. It's okay. But dads, when a dad come, you hear that music, womp womp womp, means all that fun stuff is out the window. Now I understand as a dad. Now I get it. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't no kiki kaka. It's just it's that's why Yahweh Shah is an austere man. Now I know there's so many things going on in the world. You don't have no time to be playing no games, but you got to use wisdom in how you discipline your child. And this was off as hell. Not saying don't discipline them, but you got to use wisdom on how you go about doing it.
Well, I turn the camera on, and you know, your son thinks guns are cool. There's a failure with you and the mother as parents. To why your son thinks it's cool to flex with guns on Facebook. More likely than not, it's not knocking the father. Maybe you're working a lot. Maybe mom is working a lot, and maybe he's being raised by the internet, TV, music, whatever like that. And that's the problem. That's what we're talking about. That's the problem. And the small hats have taken advantage of that. Going back to Judah chapter 5, right? Judah chapter 5. It says what? It says the nations know that it'll be our ruin if we don't serve the Most High. So they put things out there and make it attractive. The ways of the wicked doth what? Seduce us. That's the whole idea.
Somebody said I still put belt to ass.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who said that?
Sandy Ferg 8802.
So y'all check this out right here. Let's check out some hypocrisy right here, man. Let's check out some hypocrisy. Let's read Romans 2, 21 and 22. Let's check out some hypocrisy. This is Romans 2, verse 21. It says, thou therefore which teacheth another, teacheth thou not thyself? That thou preachest a man should not steal. Dost thou not steal? In other words, don't be a hypocrite. You can't tell somebody not to steal if you stole. Verse 22. Thou that saith a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? You can't tell somebody don't commit adultery. You commit adultery. Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit sacrilege? You tell somebody else you hate idols, but then meanwhile you worship idols, right? Here in the video, we have T.I. and Boosie checking their sons for having guns at the video shoot when that's the thing that made both of them famous. That's the thing that made both of them famous. This is crazy. Let's watch the video. This is stupid. This is crazy. Let me turn the volume all the way up. Listen.
All right, y'all. I want y'all to check out this video of T.I. and Boosie pulling up on their sons at a video shoot and asking them, why do y'all think it's so important to walk around with guns?
Man, like you treat yours. What is it got to do with, man? It's not illegal to have a gun. Well, in the manner in which you portraying in the lifestyle, this shit don't look legitimate. So, I'm not supporting the whole. I can't do it. What kind of parent gonna support their kids in goddamn slide, nigga, and popping it? And then gotta got in your book. So the square pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Nobody got to raise their hand. I've been seeing him around too a lot. You gonna raise your own hand? I've been seeing him around too. Well, when you got drugs, it ain't. When y'all got drugs around those legal guns, that's called possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Yeah. Thank you. This shit ain't. You should come out of court. What happened to fight out on the love? You got girls right here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man? Why don't you talk about wanting to?
Wait. Did y'all catch that? I gotta go back. He's telling Boosie, well, really, that's T.I. talking. He said, why don't y'all rap about being in love? Is that what his music was about? Is that what made him famous, about rapping about being in love? No. The small hat executives done told you the records to make. You made those records. Now you're big. Now you want your son to do something different than what you did. When the Bible teaches us what we went over earlier, you teach your children to keep the commandments. And they follow your lead. You're going to tell your son to rap about being in love, and you didn't rap about that. What the hell's going on?
Legal guns. That's called possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Yeah. Thank you. This shit ain't. You should come out of court. What happened to fight out on the love? You got girls out here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man? Why don't you talk about wanting to lay down and you know.
They're not talking about that because you didn't talk about that. You're a hypocrite.
Mr. Rubber Band Man. Wow, I like the Taliban.
What?
I'll be all about that.
problem.
Yo, you crazy.
All right.
Since we're talking about guns, this is an old video. This is not AI. This is not AI, right? This is a video of Chinese children being taught in grade school. You see how young they are, right? How to dismantle and assemble guns. I see this video like 10, 12 years ago. Just bringing it back. See, guns are not romanticized through their music, through their culture, through it. No. So they don't look at it that way. And they're all dressed in military fatigues because they understand this gun thing with them is about defending their country, defending their own. It's not romanticized. So they're not learning about killing each other through music and anything else. This is about defending themselves. Okay. Now, I got a question for y'all. Brothers and sisters, put it in the chat. I'm not looking. Put it in the chat. I want to know yay or nay. You sort of Chinese people doing that. I want to know yay or nay. This brother taught his daughter better than them. Check this video out, y'all. This little girl is smart as hell. This is a brother named Derek Grace training his children, but they ask him for what? Check this out, y'all.
Okay.
The daughter, I'm so you guys understand. Forget about the guns. The daughter is able, with a blindfold on, if they put a different grade of bullet or ammunition in her hand, she could feel it with a blindfold on and know what it is. Check it out. Y'all say yes or no. Y'all put it in the chat. Yes or no. Is this bad or good?
Okay.
What's up around the end?
A 223.
What's up around the end?
9mm.
What's up around the end?
9mm again.
What's up around the end?
357 Magnum.
What's up around the end?
40.
What's up around the end?
223.
All right, man, you got 30 seconds to break these guns down. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
1,
30
2,
seconds.
3, go. Five seconds left. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left.
Little girl and broke down 3 guns and 4 guns in 25 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Now I asked y'all, right? The reason why I'm showing you guys this, there's a difference between the father, even the mother being there and training her, because it takes away the mystery of what a gun is. It's not that serious, right? You can take one down, you can put one together, you know what the ammunition is, whatever. A lot of times, a lot of the kids that listen to rap music have never actually been in contact with a gun for real. They've never been in contact with it. So there's that mystery there, which is why a lot of them gravitate towards it and have no formal training like the Chinese kids had, and like the little girls getting right here. The difference is the formal training. It takes away the mystery from it. Now, y'all could agree or disagree. I'm not telling y'all what to say. I'm just telling y'all what I'm just showing y'all stuff. Y'all can say yay or nay in the comments.
Name 2 free AI tools that can help you make money or automate your job. ChatGPT and Midjourney.
I don't really want to do that. So y'all got sorted. Let's move on. All right. I'm going to give y'all another warning because we're still going further down the rabbit hole right now. So we showed what the men be doing this off. Now I'm going to talk about you sisters. Right? This is Ezekiel chapter 16, verses 44 through 45. I'm going to give you guys this in context so nobody can say that you guys are taking that scripture out of context. I'm going to give it to you in context first, and then we're going to go deeper. This is Ezekiel 16, verses 44 and 45. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs. What does proverbs meaning? It's not literal. It's a proverb. It's an allegory. It's a metaphor. Shall use this proverb against thee. Talk about Israel. saying, as is the mother, so is the daughter. So this is a proverb that's going to be used against Israel. As is the mother, so is the daughter. Verse 45. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband. Who's our husband? Yahweh, the Most High. And her children. And thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loatheth their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father was an Amorite. That's not literal. It's a proverb. It's an allegory. It's a metaphor. Who are the Hittites and the Amorites? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Pick it up from verse number 1. That's all we need. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites. The Hittites and the Amorites are the same ones mentioned in Ezekiel 16. And Canaanites and Perizzites and Hivites and Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thee. So the Hittites and the Amorites were cast out of the land, and the land was given to us as an inheritance. Right? Why were these nations cast out? Because they were in the land that the Lord loves, doing wickedness. So the Most High cast them out and brought us in instead. And instead of us doing better than those that was there before us, we actually followed the wickedness that they were doing. Is everybody following along? So when it speaks about your mother being a Hittite, meaning the nations that was before us in the land, and your father an Amorite, another nation that was before us in the land, instead of us learning and doing better than the example of the nations that was before us, we did the same thing that they were doing. Is everybody understanding? Okay, that's the context. So I'm not lost on the context. Nevertheless, I'm going to do subtext. Because this is evil. Ezekiel 16, verse 44 again. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother. This is the mother. She was born in 1981. So is the daughter. You set the example for those that come behind. Those that come behind are going to follow your lead. So as the other nations were in the land doing certain wicked things, we came in there and we followed their lead. We weren't supposed to, but we did. Nevertheless, bring it up to modern times, your children will follow your lead. I hope there's no children watching this right now. I want you guys to look at this. This is the mom, 1981. This is the daughter born in 2000. And they have lingerie there. This is lingerie. So the daughter is following behind the lead of the mother. I'm going to come online and be naked in lingerie. And the daughter's going to come online and feel it's okay because mama did that. As is the mother, so is the daughter. Let's watch the video.
Is this? It's a poster girl dress? This should look like an American Girl doll dress. Yo, put it to your body. Put it to your body. What the fuck?
The reason why the daughter feels okay being online like this is because the mother feels okay being online. As is the mother, so is the daughter. That's all. I'm going to go on from that. I want you to see that. I want you guys to see that. All right, let's move on. Those of y'all are supposed to be in the God First Gang room and the SOS room. Y'all go. But I got to get through this. I got to get through this, so I'm going to keep going. This is what children watch. I want you guys to understand children watch stuff like this. Check it out. This is from baddies. Because now, in the world, not our Israelite sisters, in the world, a lot of women identify as baddies. You get that from this TV show right here, from the Zeus Network, which we're gonna do some research on the Zeus Network. Check it out.
You look like a hater. What I have to hate on Erica for? I don't know. She just gets a reaction out of you. Fuck that walrus in her.
All right. So we got a TV show called Baddies on the Zeus Network, and children watch it. Children watch it. You're like, Priest, why are we watching this? I don't get it. You're doing good so far. I don't know where you're going with this right now. Don't worry. Just stay with me. Yeah, I said children watch it. So let's watch children watching it. Pay attention.
This is my last time letting my son watch Baddies.
I want y'all to watch the baby. He's following what he's watching on the screen. When I say children watch it, yeah, they watch it. Pay attention. Look at the baby. Forget about them. Watch the baby. Y'all not mad? Y'all not mad? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm y'all not.
You know, it's so crazy though, man. You used to turn on the television to escape from reality, right? But, bro, I can see this down Fordham Road, bro. I can see this in the Bronx any day, bro. So it's like I'm not escaping from reality. It's just if you not in the truth and the scriptures is not your, your comfort, you done off because you see this in the projects, you see this in the house, in the neighborhood, and then you turn the TV on and you see this some more. So it's like there ain't nowhere to run to. It's a wrap. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. I'm irritated. When I was putting this together, I was mad as I was cursing as I'm mad as hell behind this.
And the goofy ass mother laughing in the background like it's funny.
This is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm my bad, but there's more. And by the way, these are the same boys, not y'all sisters in the truth. Y'all gonna call sassy later, but they were raised on baddies. Sorry, I was for yelling. I just had to say that. This is crazy. These are the same boys that's going to be called sassy later. What the hell is going on here?
Did y'all hear about that middle school girl that just passed away?
I want you guys to understand. I want you to pay attention. There's a middle school girl that died because the person that killed her was watching baddies and watching those fights, and she died because of it. We're going somewhere with this. We've been talking about the small hats the whole time. I don't want y'all to think we're talking about something else. We're not. Pay attention. Let's pay attention.
Did y'all hear about that middle school girl that just passed away in Georgia? Like, that is so sad, y'all. Like, I think as a community, as a society, we gotta let our kids stop watching baddies and now that's TV and stuff like that. It's not making any sense. And I'm not saying that that's the reason why she passed away, but like, do you know that some people send their kids to school to learn? And the rest of y'all just send y'all kids to school because y'all have to by law. Like, it's not cool. Like, y'all gotta make sure that y'all on it about what y'all kids is watching because she got into a fight. You know how many fights I got into in middle school? Like, she got into a simple fight and it ended up being fatal. Like, it just reminds me of that Kayla Green girl from Mount Vernon. Beautiful. Both of them.
So kids are dying in school. Girls, not even the boys, getting beat to death because of baddies. Let's move on. We're not gonna. So we went through all that. You said, well, why are we watching baddies? Why are we? So I want you guys to understand, who is Lemuel Plummer? Who's that? Who's that? Well, Lemuel Plummer, he's the founder and chief executive of Zeus Network, where Baddies is aired. Lemuel Plummer is the son of Bishop Glenn Plummer, who is the bishop of, what's that word right there? No, the small hats are not involved with this ratchet stuff that's going on Zeus Network. No. Yes, Lemuel Plummer of the Zeus Network is the son of his daddy, Glenn Plummer, who is the bishop of who? So you mean to tell me all that ratchet stuff we see on the Zeus Network, the small hats is involved in that too? Yes. Social engineering. Y'all mind if we look at the programming that goes on the Zeus Network that we have Lemuel Plummer, the son of Bishop Plummer of the Bishop of Israel? Can we look at what the programming on the Zeus Network is? What's going on over there? Well, we have a show called Bad Boys, because we saw the bad girls. You had the bad boys too. And we wonder why a lot of women say a lot of dudes are sassy, because y'all are. Bad Boys on Zeus Network is a group of young men living together, bonding and hosting and promoting events while experiencing intense drama, verbal altercations, and physical fights just like the women. These dudes are in their feelings and their emotions like the women, and they're feminine as hell and they're sassy as hell, and I agree. What else airs on the Zeus Network? Oh, we have Two Ways with Erica Mena. What's that about? This is a network. Well, no, we got to go back. Sorry, y'all. We got to go back. It's a network that's controlled by black people. Black people. Yeah, so now we have Two Ways. Zob, you going to say something?
Nah, brother, nah.
I know it's exhausting. So
Hey, real quick, before you move further, there's I don't know, you might have it in your presentation or not. There's a witchcraft show. Is it on Zeus?
I don't know. It's not here. I don't have it.
Okay, there's a witchcraft show about witches of Atlanta, something like that. I want to say it's on Zeus too.
It might be.
You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead, Priest.
So we have another show on the Zeus Network that's owned by black people that has a bishop that is with the small hats, like the music industry, right? The bishop with the small hats, but the music industry, whatever. Anyway, we have a show right here called Two Ways. What is it about? Oh, former love and hip hop star Erica Mena searches for love amongst a diverse group of men and women. So she might find a spouse amongst the women and the men, which is anti-scripture. But the small hats say, yeah, this is what we want black people to have. This is social engineering. Let's keep going. Oh, what about this one right here? What about the show Bobby, I Love You on the Zeus Network? What's that about? Oh, first of all, if you look at the picture, it's all men here. It's all men. Ain't a woman in this picture. So what's it about? Bobby's journey to find a new partner. No, it doesn't say nothing about gay right here or whatever, but we're looking at the picture. Ain't no women here. So where's this partner going to come from?
Bro, it says per. Fuck is
Bobby trying to find a new partner while navigating drama and vulnerability. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Because there's more. Is there more? There's more. Yes. Woo! Jocelyn's Cabaret. Jocelyn's Cabaret on the Zeus Network that's owned by black people that have bishops that's over in the small hat land. Yeah. What's this about? Intense drama, interpersonal conflicts, fights, rehearsals, moving locations. It's about stripping. Strippers. This is all on a network that's owned by black people. Is there more, Priest? Yes, there's more. There's more. There's another show called TT, Do You Love Me? What's that about? TT. Y'all see, this is TT right here. Do I need to say more? Let's move on. Go ahead, Tasha K. Talk about it.
When I tell you they are really digging into Lemmy, and this is the beginning of when you start to see people expose you in ways, it starts a pattern, right? It's a pattern that starts. It's like they start with the ownership of who you are, and then you got the girls that are coming out saying you beat them. I think Scotty, the one he's with now from his show, Daddies, her hairstylist, and hairstylists and makeup artists be knowing the wine now. They really, really do. Is claiming that Lemmy is allegedly beating on her. beating on Scotty. Of course, Scotty gonna come out and say, "Ain't nobody beating me. It ain't even like that. I mean, he got a private jet and all, but a black eye ain't nothing. It ain't like a girl ain't never gave me no black eye, girl. Bye. And all I gotta do is do this too. You don't even know I got a black eye. Why? Because I got on black shades. I don't see nothing y'all saying. You know, how did we get the information about him not being 100% full majority owner of Zeus? And it's a white girl and two black guys.
It's a white girl and two black guys own Zeus with him. That's why you're getting all this. That's why y'all getting all this negative stuff. Let's keep going. Come on.
That helped to create and launch Zeus. They were all equal partners. He's apparently shut them out, but they're still on paper as owners, according to them. And not only that, he passes off wages to them as if he's paid them so that he doesn't have to pay all that money in taxes. And then they're stuck paying taxes on money that they never received as owners and partners. And so they've all filed lawsuits against him to clear that up because their name is on the business and they're not able to get it off. But he's using them as kind of a tax shield so that he doesn't have full liability, even though he only claims that he's the only owner of Zeus, a black network. He may feel that he is covered by the Holy Ghost because after old girl on TikTok exposed who his daddy and mother was, I was a bit shocked myself when I went to the website to find out where this man came from and who he belongs to.
Who does he belong to, Tasha?
CEO Lemuel Plummer's father is Glenn Plummer. Now, why am I telling you this and why is it important? Well, Glenn is actually the first bishop of Israel. He's been that since the year 2000 and lives in...
He's the first bishop of Israel. His daddy is the first bishop of Israel. And that's who gave y'all the Zeus Network with all those degenerate shows. Let's go.
Hold on one second.
Time is of the essence. But go ahead.
I know, real quick. My brother asked a question in the chat. He said, "I thought that COGIC is an Israelite group." I think it's a mistake. This Kojic that priest is talking about is a Church of God in Christ. It's a Pentecostal group. They have ties with Freemasonry and all that stuff. They're a Pentecostal group. Whenever you see churches that say COGIC, it stands for Church of God in Christ. It's a Pentecostal group. What you're referring to is ISCJC, which is Israelite Church of God in Christ, which is something different. They had a leader called Tazadakia. That's something different. I just wanted to illuminate that, bring that out for the brother who thought that Kojic was an Israelite group. Go ahead, please.
Zeus Network is 300% the Black American Zionist pipeline. It's 300% what it is.
So I want y'all to know the brother's saying the small hats run the Zeus Network, which is they put the black man out front. They run that. So all that stuff that y'all seeing on the Zeus Network, just like the music and everything else, the small hats are pushing that. And we got our babies. Y'all saw that. We got our babies watching that. This is crazy.
Zeus Network is 300% the Black American Zionist pipeline. It's 300% what it is. I just got done making this video about American Zionism, following Lindsey Graham saying, "I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day." And it was in reference to this war in Iran. I got done making the video about that, and I'm scrolling through my TikTok, and then I see this creator, Madiswan. She's working on a series where she asked a question.
Isn't that crazy to say that Zeus Network is a CIA psyop?
It is the Black American Zionist.
The Zeus Network is a CIA psyop, 100%.
This is going to be a yes and. I'm sure she's going to make some great points in that series. I'm going to check it out. But this is something that I try to tell people all of the time. And I'm going to make it really, really quick on just my end of this theory. Lemuel Plummer owns Zeus Network. They're behind baddies and all of the wild fights that you see from reality TV that aren't on actual TV. That's Zeus Network. He's behind all that. His parents are actually pretty prominent in the religious community, very specifically the Kojic Church, I believe. His dad is actually a high-ranking member in the Kojic Church. More importantly, his dad is also the bishop, hear me out, the bishop to the Kojic Church of America. And guess where? Israel. Not that that is a direct point A to point B, but I will say that in the same way Ghislaine Maxwell's dad just so happens to have known spy allegations, and here she is today dealing with more spy allegations. Why wouldn't it be the case that Bishop Plummer, the Kojic bishop to Israel, his son having a media company, why would that not be, some pipeline shit? And this
so it's the pipeline. We have to play the video. I'm teaching y'all something. A lot of the negative stuff that y'all see in hip hop is being pushed. Y'all see this small hats run it. Small hats run everything. They run the media, everything. They run everything. There's a connection with them, with everything. Go ahead, sis.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that the same people that are behind the destructive music being pushed towards black people are the same people behind Zeus Network? You still think it's just entertainment? Ask yourself this. Why don't we get shows like A Different World anymore? Why no more Cosby shows? Why no more Fight the Power energy? Because that kind of content made people think. It made us want more unity, more education, more ownership.
I'm not gonna play the whole video. You guys heard it. She's 1,000% right. Because I'm time is of the essence. I'm going a little ahead. We have to be accountable. Isaiah 59, verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear, but your iniquities. The nations notice. That's why I went to Judith 5. The nations notice your iniquities have separated between you and your God. So they make iniquities attractive so that you do that. So guess what? You don't want to serve your God. That's the whole idea. But your iniquities have separated you between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear you. This is Acts 3:19. It says, repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord. Repentance means to change one's mind for better. That's what we teach our people to do. Okay, once you find out all the things that I showed you, change your mind and be better. Y'all want to know, is there a part two? Of course there's a part two. And guys, it gets worse. It gets worse. I have a part two. So if y'all not out here doing stupid stuff that I gotta rebuke y'all for, I can maybe teach part two next week. I don't know. So if y'all want to see a part two, y'all put number 2 in the chat, because I have a part two. If y'all want to see a part two, y'all put part 2 in the chat. Let me see. I'm gonna come look. If y'all want part 2, put part 2 in the chat. And I just might. You have to behave though, because y'all be off as hell. And so I can't teach a part 2 because y'all start doing stupid stuff, and I don't know. Sister Princess is gonna make it so I don't think Sister Princess wants me to teach a part 2, because I don't see her nowhere in the chat at all. So I think I may not be able to teach part 2 because Sister Princess is not in the chat saying nothing about part 2. So if I don't teach that next week, y'all can blame her.
Hey, you know, we gotta blame two priests while you're checking the chat. The people who willingly sign up to this foolishness. You see what I'm saying? Because if you make a little bit of money in the entertainment business, you got enough. It's a certain level where, okay, you got to cut it off, man. You got to repent for your transgressions. So the people doing business with these small hats, they're just to blame because nobody forced you to do this. Just like, what's that cracker who was interviewing Ice Cube, Bill Maher. He said to Ice Cube, well, nobody forced you to do this. You see what I'm saying? In a way, he's right, though. Our people, when you're doing business, you got to be careful, man. Let me bring out one scripture, priest, while you're still checking the chat. It's the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 27. I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, as a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. In other words, when you're doing business, doing business is very tricky because it's a thin line, right? Whereas you're robbing somebody or giving them a fair deal. That's just being in business, period. But when you add to that, the business that you're doing is corrupting God's children, meaning Israel, then you got a problem, man. So for the so-called Edomites, the so-called small hats, right? Not so-called, they are Edomites. For the small hats who perpetrate this wickedness, whether it be through Universal Music Group, Sony, whatever the case may be, or Zeus Network, they got their destruction coming. But for the ones who willingly go along and say, yes, where do I sign? I'll help produce another baddies. I'll help produce another show, or I'll do another this. In the term, in the sense of, oh, I want to do business, I want to make money. Then you got to take your part in the destruction too, man, because you're helping to bring our people down. You know, I just wanted to bring that out.
So, real quick, all praise to the Most High, fellas. Real quick, I'm gonna share my screen for 1 second. I said this is part 2. I want you guys to see something. I want you guys to know it, so y'all be on your best behavior. I don't get no crazy reports this week, so I have to rebuke y'all, and I can teach part 2 next week. I want to show you guys something. All right, let's go to the next PowerPoint. Right, next PowerPoint is called wait 1 second. So we got part 2. Our people sin is big business. You guys can see it. The PowerPoint already exists. It already exists. Whether I could teach it next week or not depends on y'all being off for hell as hell or not. Nevertheless, I'm gonna give y'all a preview. Just a little preview. If you're from New York, you guys know about Mott Haven in the Bronx. Mott Haven in the Bronx, that's the projects. Right, that's the projects. Right? Guys, my man Future has something he wants to tell y'all.
It's an evil world we live in.
It's an evil world we live in, y'all.
It's an
brothers and sisters. Do you guys see what I have on my screen? This is from me years ago, taking a screenshot. You have strippers at the Mott Haven projects. Look at what the thing says. It says, I ain't never seen a stripper pole outside, let alone the projects. They got it in Mott Haven. Yes, not the Italian community, not the Arab community, not the African community, not the white community, or any other community. No, in our community, they put a stripper pole in the middle of the projects and they got strippers dancing in the middle of the community because sin is big business in our community. You guys see this? You see me right there, right? That's me years ago. Is there any community, y'all let me know in the chat, is there any community where they could put a stripper pole in the middle of the community? Everybody be okay with it? If there is, y'all put it in the chat. Let me know what community would be cool with that. Let me know. Wait until I show y'all, brothers and sisters. The comment section is crazy. But that's enough for now. That's enough for now.
And it's so funny. We teach in Mott Haven. We teach on 149th and 3rd.
We do teach on 149th and 3rd in the Bronx. And that's where that is. That's where that is. Real quick. I'm gonna share something else with y'all before we go. I'm gonna stop the screen for 1 second, and I'm gonna share again. Now I'm gonna change the spirit. I'm gonna change the spirit for 1 second because I want to show you guys something. Because this is important too. This is current events. So I'm gonna take me and Zab off the screen. This is current events. So you guys, you can see about 3 hours ago, I shared this. This is from Fox News, right? And Donald Trump is creating a privately funded 250-foot triumphal arc near Arlington Bridge, which is in Arlington, Virginia. And you guys see how that looks, right? I want you guys to breathe that in. Look at the top. I want you guys to see how it's built, right? He's proposing building this. It's only 17 hours ago. It's Fox News. And you guys, I want you guys to look at my caption. This is nothing but the arc of Titus all over again, Rome reborn. For those of y'all that don't think prophecy is being fulfilled, this is Rome again. This is Rome reborn. This is the arc of Titus. You guys see it? This is the arc of Titus. When Titus came in 70 AD and destroyed our temple, he built an ark like this. Look at how it's built. Let's bring it up closer. You guys see it? This is the ark of Titus with the Roman at the top. And over here and underneath are images. One of the images on the ark of Titus is the Romans coming in and looting our temple. This is on the Ark of Titus, underneath, under here. This is one of the images. One more look. This is the Ark of Titus. You guys see it? This is the Ark of Titus. Right there. You guys see the Ark of Titus? You guys see the menorah right there? They were celebrating destroying us. Right there. See how it's built? What is your guy Donald Trump trying to build? The same thing. I'll leave that right there. There's nothing else to talk about. Elder Zahab, if you have anything you want to bring out, the floor is yours, bro.
Hey, brothers and sisters, if you here, leave a like on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment also. Leave a comment. Even if it's just saying good class or powerful or whatever, or you disagree with something, just leave a comment. Why? That engagement is good, and the engagement helps us to boost us in the algorithm, right? So leave a comment and go to thelionsofisrael.com, sign up to our website. We have things coming. Just sign up to the website. And again, the water for everybody who took the time out to be here. All praise to the Most High. We pray that the spirit of wisdom was imparted on you, right? And yeah, part 2. Let's do part 2 tomorrow. I mean, next week, priest.
Well, if Israel behaves themselves, I ain't gonna curse nobody out because y'all just wicked as hell. Then I could do it next week. Nevertheless, we'll do it next week. If you guys want to see the class next week, just behave yourself. I'll teach next week. We got some. What if I told y'all next week's class is gonna be worse? I got to put a whole nother parental advisory. It's gonna be worse.
Yeah,
would y'all believe me?
I believe it, man.
And it's already. I already started creating. It's gonna be worse. All right. With that being said, we're gonna end on a high note. I'm watching the chat. For everybody that needs the Lord, if you need the Most High in this age of wickedness that's going on and we want to be delivered, if you need the Most High God, I need for y'all to put the number 1 in the chats. If you need the Lord, you need him. Because outside of him, man, we're finished. If you need the Lord, put 1 in the chat. I don't know. Is there enough of y'all that need the Lord? I don't know. All praise to the Most High. All right. Zombie, you gonna say something?
Nah, go ahead, priest.
So if you need the Lord, y'all put 1 in the chat. Y'all need the Lord. So with that being said, it's your brother Priest Daniela, represent Lions of Israel. Elder Zahab, represent Lions of Israel. Make sure y'all like the video. If you've been here, you have not, you know what I'm saying, like the video. That's wicked as hell. Like the video, subscribe, support the channel. I'm gonna let y'all hear, for those of y'all that's still here, I'm gonna let y'all hear a single off the next album that's coming. I need the Lord too. I see all the ones in the chat. I need the Lord too. So if you need the Lord, I need the Lord. If y'all can relate, let me know. With that being said, shalom. It's not letting me play it. It's not letting me play it. I guess it's not meant for me to play it.
Nah, cue it up. Nah, you done tease the
It's
people.
not
Man.
meant for me to play it.
You done tease the people, brother.
It's not letting me play it. I don't know.
Play it on your phone and put the phone next to the mic.
I don't know. Let's do something different. Hold on a second. Let's do something different. Okay.
Nakumia said, "Repent."
I know. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, bro. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, right? I don't know if you guys can hear it.
See, you thought I wrote this song for you. Nah, I wrote it for me.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna stop it. Can y'all hear it? Did y'all see it? And can y'all hear it?
I saw it. The volume could be a little louder though.
Okay. I want to make sure you guys can hear it. Okay. I'm not sure, 100% sure I could do much about the volume. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I could do something about the volume. All right. You said you saw it, Zab?
Khan. I heard it also, but again, the volume got to be louder.
Okay. 1 second. I'm going to do it again. I turn the volume up. Okay. All right. Let's see something. 1 second, y'all. 1 segundo. All right.
Hey, while Priest is getting that ready, if you're gonna be in the New Jersey area in May and you wanna celebrate First Fruits with us, hit us up, please. Hit us up. First Fruits is gonna be in New Jersey. To be the Lord will.
All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's do it. 1 second. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. If not, you guys will see it when it comes out. Let's do it.
See, you thought I wrote this song for you. Nah, I wrote it for me. Let's go. They say the hills is where your help comes from. I need the Lord, I had to tell someone. So I wrote about it. So I wrote about it. The troubles fade away, surviving day to day. And when I feel defeated, I'm not ashamed to say. I'm not ashamed to say, dear God, I'm struggling. These bills keep coming in because I told the truth. I lost another friend. If I say I'm hungry, I expect a plate. So since I came to serve, I should expect the hate. Now is we all folk or is it all smoke? I was glad Jake Paul got his jaw broke. I had to laugh. Some things I had to have. Dr. Dre label, this is the aftermath. Now that's a metaphor. I'm way ahead of y'all, and you cannot relate if you was never poor. You could never get it. The mold I never fitted. My life was Ric Flair. I had to wrestle with it. Behind the 8 ball, that's a bad advantage. Then I went to church, and they didn't have the answers. And from that day forward, I never liked preachers. To solve my black struggle, they gave me.
All right, guys. You guys will see it when it drops. All praise to the Most High. We love you, our brothers and sisters, for supporting us. Make sure you guys hit the like button. And we'll see you guys again next week. Again, if nothing is going crazy, I'll do part 2. All right? It's your brother, Priest Daniela, representing Lines of Israel, Maccabees TV. But then I say shalom.